Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome to my booth. I'm Jay. Today's sample's from Jacob, and we seem to be having a theme here because last week we were worried about authenticity and connection, and this week we're looking at emotion and relatability of the voice and tone. It seems to be a theme, and a good one at that. So we'll dive in a second. If you want me to review your audio, there's a form in the description. Send me something. There's coaching on my website. If that is something that you prefer and you want to do this one-on-one, just check it out if you want. And if you want to be a booth buddy, Jacob here's a booth buddy. So he jumped the queue, got into the review. Anyway, it's a way to support the channel if you want. Gets priority access to me, and check it out down below if you want. And thanks for being here. It always means oodles and caboodles. I sound facetious when I say that, but I just like the term oodles and caboodles, and there's nothing you can do about it. Jacob, take us away.
Juggling projects, messages, and meetings shouldn't feel like a full-time job. Loopwise brings it all into one clean workspace. Smart tools that keep you organized, focused, and a step ahead. Less stress, more progress. Loopwise.
Okay. Very nice, brief little sample here, Jacob. Really solid work. In terms of emotion and relatability, I think you're off to a really, really great start, and I've got a few pointers, tips, lines of attack that you can throw at the wall here and see what works for you. So let's listen to it again, and I'll stop and start and talk about specific ideas, but overall, it's a good start. Okay.
Juggling projects, messages, and meetings shouldn't feel like a full-time job.
Okay. In this first little stanza, juggling
Projects, messages, and meetings.
projects, messages, and meetings. For lists, this is something I say, I don't know, I say it often in my coaching sessions. I don't know how much I say it here, but anytime that you can incorporate your body physically into your read, do it. Do it, because that grounds you and it takes care of a lot of the mental work of, am I being emotional, relatable enough? Is it conversation? I don't know. If it puts you in your body, you stop thinking about all that garbage and you start thinking about, what am I actually saying? So one of the things that really, really helps me is anytime a list comes along, put the items on your fingers, and it helps to delineate the things and yet keep them connected. So for this, projects, messages, meetings, you can put them on your fingers and you're already spreading, delineating them a bit, but I think we can go a little bit further. Additionally, with that said list, projects, messages, meetings, I would love to, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel as though you are not actively visualizing these projects, messages, and meetings, and why they specifically
Shouldn't feel like a full-time job.
why they feel like a full-time job. So projects, messages, meetings. What is our emotional attachment to these things? And what about them specifically makes them feel like a full-time job? Projects. The way I say projects there, you understand that I have a history with projects. And if I say projects with a specific project in mind, projects, you understand that I'm visualizing something that I have related experiences with. Messages, just emails all day, man. Emails, messages, and meetings. And with all of this stuff and really everything that I say, you don't have to show me the homework. And what I mean by that is it doesn't have to be something that's, in fact, if you show me your homework where you're like, look, I'm listing every item in this thing, then I'm like, well, why are you listing everything? This is just something that helps with that. And you don't need me to know that it's projects, we're Saruman and the files of industry. I don't know. It's just, these are tools to help you embody the thing that then just makes it come alive a little bit better and more easily. So that's tip one with the projects. I guess that's kind of two tips. Use your body when you can. And projects, meetings, messages, have specific things in mind when you say those words. And specifically, why they feel like they take all day.
Loopwise brings it all into one clean workspace.
This is a great shift because you're like, it shouldn't feel like they take all day. Loopwise, already with the way you've said loopwise, I understand this is a solution and it's already easier, it's more fun, it's brighter, and I don't have to deal with projects, meetings, and messages.
Clean workspace.
Clean workspace is really nice. My only thought is we're inflecting down, but I don't know that that matters.
Clean workspace. Smart tools that keep you
Yeah. So clean workspace, smart tools is another item. So we start here with Loopwise has all these fantastic features which are going to make your life better, easier, faster, stronger. So when you start off with clean workspace, this again goes back into the list. If you look at someone's desktop, it's covered with folders. Not with Loopwise, clean space, smart tools.
Smart tools that keep you organized.
And with these as well, same deal, have the visualizations in mind. Clean workspace, smart tools that help you do all this cool stuff. What does that mean? You don't have to know precisely, but if you don't know based off of what the app is, make something up, man. Make something up.
Focused and a step ahead. Smart tools that keep you organized, focused, and a step ahead. Less stress, more progress. One clean workspace. Smart tools that keep you organized, focused, and a step ahead. Less stress, more progress. Loopwise. Juggling.
Okay, maybe it may have been wrong about the inflect down thing here.
Loopwise brings it all into one clean workspace. Smart tools that keep you organized, focused, and a step ahead. Less stress, more progress. Loopwise.
This is just odd copy because I don't know how this connects. It doesn't bother me a ton. This is me being really nitpicky. But smart tools, again, your list here is great. Have specific things in mind. These could directly echo back to the meetings, messages, projects thing.
Smart tools that keep you organized.
You know what it might be? Yeah, I don't know. The thing that I'm struggling with, just to talk you through why this is kind of perplexing me, is A, I can't see the copy, so I don't know. And when I say copy, for anybody who doesn't know, I'm saying the script for this commercial. Sometimes when people are writing that, they'll have punctuation or line breaks that helps to inform how they're planning to edit around something. And that may be something that Jacob is doing well that I misread or misheard, or I could be onto something I don't really know, which is kind of the issue. But this section I really like.
Smart tools that keep you organized, focused, and a step ahead.
I think the big thing just goes back to that same note that I was giving earlier, Jacob, where smart tools, I need to know what you have in mind when you're saying this instead of just like smart tools. That's not me doing an impression of you, to be very clear. But if we're talking about smart tools, what are we talking about? What tool specifically helps you to
Keep you organized,
focused,
and a step ahead.
And a step ahead. What tools or tool are we talking about that does each of those things or all three of those things? And again, if you don't know, this is a new app. We may not have any idea what it is, but it's important for us to have something in mind as to why you can be organized, your calendar will be decluttered, all of that. That's the mental homework that we need to do to build a backbone for this kind of thing.
Less stress, more progress.
This is good in terms of the structure. Less stress, more progress. This is a thing that comes up a lot in a lot of things, but in commercials, corporate stuff in particular, this comes up where I call it like the scale thing, where there are two things that are either opposites or they complement each other. And so I always put them on a scale type thing, like I'm Lady Justice weighing them against each other. So less stress, more progress. It helps me, again, if you can do something with your body, do it. But less stress, more progress. It helps to put them in two different places. This, for me, Jacob, is the only part where it sounds a little bit, I'm a voiceover actor-ish. and specifically the more progress. Like if I'm telling you, hey man, listen, I know that your life is super busy, you're dealing with projects, this thing and that thing, less stress, more progress. And I'm not saying that it has to be that way. Last week when I was talking to David, when we were talking to David, you can add a little smile, make it bright. Less stress, more progress. Less stress, more progress. It's a really, really subtle difference, but this is the only point in this whole read where I start to feel the script creeping in and your emotional attachment to the thing start to fade a bit into the background.
Loopwise. Juggling projects.
I love the way you say loopwise. That would be the kind of thing, I'm not a casting person, but that would be the kind of thing where I'm like, this guy says loopwise the way I want it to be said. Where I'm just like, yeah, loopwise. And I'm on board with it. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions about any of my ramblings there, because I feel as though, I rambled a bit, but really solid work here, Jacob. Oh, I was going to say a couple quick things. If this is an audition, 1, normalize to -3 dB. You could also compress a little bit if you wanted to. So this is after I've done that little thing.
Juggling projects, messages, and meetings shouldn't feel like a full-time job. Loopwise brings it all into one clean workspace.
So it's just a little, and then this is before.
Juggling projects, messages, and meetings shouldn't feel like a full-time job.
So it's just a little bit louder overall. You can do that. And small note for you and everybody else out there, in your auditions, just make sure that the beginning of the audio file, this is a personal thing mainly. I don't know if casting people care about this, but the first couple seconds of your audition are always the most important, because that's the point where they'll say yay or nay and move on to the next one. They're coming through hundreds of these. So if you go to the very beginning, you can see here that you've got a fair amount of just noise going on right at the top that incidentally I don't really hear in the rest of your recording, so I don't know what it is specifically. But all to say, at the beginning of your recordings, just silence the beginning, the first half second of silence. Or if you want to, you can introduce a fade in of some kind, whatever works for you, but making sure that the beginning of your audio file is nice and pristine and the way you want it starts you off with a good impression instead of a mouse click for the beginning of your thing or a keyboard snap, whatever it may be. Anyway, hope this is helpful for you and everybody else out there as well. Until the next one of these, be well, everybody. Send me some more of these samples. I look forward to this every week, and I'll see you there. Doodles.